Alright, how do I just start this off? Well, let's just start with the intro as usual. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Jasper Winbow here, the ThrashMetalGuru, or I would just say also known as the ThrashMetalGuru. I'll try to come up with a better catchphrase than that, because I'm thinking of switching. Okay, let's just start things off with that, a group that I'm formerly associated with, which is, TSDS, or maybe the Talking Point. Some things have been going on between them, and just in my personal perspective, it's not going well, and I'm not going to reveal any details or any information about that because that is going to be remained out of the question here. But it's just come to my attention that things are just getting a little bit out of hand, and basically, and yeah, I'm only wearing one glove, I can't find the other one. But basically, let's just say things are just not going in the right direction so far in the matter. But anyways, we're just going to move on here to a topic that I've discussed mainly before on some videos back then in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which I used to live there, so yippee, yay. Of course, I've misread this phobia as Thanatophobia instead of Thanatophobia. And just to recall, which it's now correctly said, is actually Thanatophobia, which the term definition of it is the fear of death, or maybe the fear of dying, or maybe the fear of the dead. There's actually two terms that derive in a variety of ways to mean of it. I think necrophobia would be the fear of of the dead, but since my fear of death is Thanatophobia. Now, as I mentioned before, it's not only the fear of how, but it's also the fear of when. And the when is the one I'm always the most concerned with and really feel dead. I wouldn't say dead, but feel mostly frozen inside when you think about this process. Now, a lot of people may not catch on to what I am trying to explain here, but and I'm not telling anyone to do this because I'm just going to say right now, as hypocritical as it may seem of me, to please enjoy life as it is, and to hold on and grasp everything and just enjoy the light of it. Because if you take even moments to even think about it, it can just shatter you. And it's basically what I did. It just happened one time where I was just sitting down and I had a thought in my mind about things, and then it was the thought. That thought of when it was time to go, I just felt completely obliterated. And it's going to happen someday, and I guess that's how religion plays its little role around. It's all in common with death and life, and, you can either choose to believe or not believe. Now, I'm not going to go into the deep regards of religion, but I'm really going to just get a little bit more personal here, and this is going to be in my ThrashMetalGuru account, by the way. But even though I said the ThrashMetalGuru thing, it's actually going to be in my ThrashMetalGuru one. But the problem with this is I've done research a little bit recently about Thanatophobia. In some of my problems, which I've told you about my rivalries with certain people, personal that is, back in Texas, and I've been thinking about everything, and as it turns out, Thanatophobia actually has a connection with childhood problems. Now, what these childhood problems are is just I feel like I have regretted a lot of things in my life that I've never got to clear out, and by the way, I'm still saving money to get up to make a trip to Texas. I just need to talk things over with my folks because, financial issues. But anyways, I digress there. The thing is, I've said it before, and I will say it again. I actually have these regrets of a lot of things, whether if I was innocent or guilty of things, or whatever. I've done things which I'm ashamed of, or been accused of things that I have not done. It doesn't really matter. Because I understand what a lot of people tell me is that you are too nice, you let people take advantage of you, or you let people walk all over you, or maybe it's because you just can't understand a word that people say, and it makes you feel like you can't be a part of something or part of a group, and I'm talking high school, by the way, and middle school, that you can't be a part of a group of friends that you can't seem to relate to in that matter. Now, I've had that issue long ago, and I've already told you about the messages that I got from a former friend of mine, and when he threatened my life, and then I've told you about my obsession. We all know that story. That's not really it. No one cares about that. completely. But those were primary examples of what I was regretting. And I'm just going to say it, and I'll say it again. I still do regret it. I still do care. I have said to a former, or not, I wouldn't say former, but to a certain person that I didn't care about this. But deep down inside, the truth is I do. But in a way, though, it kind of does make more sense to care than not care. It doesn't matter about my emotional stability. It doesn't matter about anything, but I'm just thinking that the fear of death has put a lot in me, and it's putting a lot of my thoughts within here. And I do not blame the people who have lost respect for me, regardless if they went two-faced on me and all that, and saying that I have no life, I should have never been their friend, and that I was nothing to them, or, just saying that people don't care for me. Well, that's fine. But the thing is, I was trying to put a hold of myself and become someone new, even though the thought of death or the inevitability of death itself would be among me, and I'm still a long way away from that. But what I'm just saying is the connections that I'm having with my regrets in the past and the fear of death, they connect. I've even researched it up on Google. It may not to you guys in that way, saying, well, it's on Wiki, it can't really make sense. I mean, well, I do kind of share some sort of the puzzles, or the puzzles kind of fit in when you kind of think about it. But and another thing, so I'm not saying I'm going to bring religion into this, because as some of you already know, I'm a non-religious Christian, which means I don't follow everything in the Bible. I believe, people don't go to hell just because what they believe in, because we never know what happens on the other side. And that's the thing right there when it comes to death. That's what I'm also afraid of. What happens after you die? Let's think about it. There's a possibility there's a void of black. There's a possibility that there's something on the other side. It can't be proven or disproven. That's the thing with God and other gods and the part of religion. It cannot be proven or disproven. And it's just making me think, and it also questions the belief that I have. But I don't really walk away from the faith that I have. But I do believe science and faith can come together and work out an answer. But that's just a personal belief of mine. I don't really expect anyone to listen to it, because it's my own personal belief, and everyone actually has a different belief, different religion, or disbelief, or any kind of way you can think of what is the possible way that what happens at the end, and I completely acknowledge and respect that. But I'm just saying, I'm just afraid after when I die that I'll see nothing, I will feel nothing, I won't be able to breathe, smell, feel anything, and then it's just a complete void. What is it like to be one with something that you haven't experienced, or maybe you can't even bear the thought of experiencing if there's nothing there? And also, I've been writing songs and writing the poetry about how much I'm feeling and all these regrets, and I'm not trying to sound like a dweller upon the situation, which I already sound like it, but it's just hard. I know there's a lot of people who've gone through a lot more than what I have, and I completely understand. I'm just trying to explain a personal part that no one in my life I will blame for anything. I mean, people in life, I've had my regrets, I've had controversy and feuds with, but I'm just trying to make sense of things. How can I get past it? I mean, I've tried ignoring the situations that I've gone through before. I've tried to block the images from my mind. The thing is, I haven't slept easily in the past couple of days. I haven't eaten the right way, and it's just hard to get these images out of the mind. And it sounds crazy, but it kind of grows within you, and it's kind of hard to, take it out of the mind when it kind of sticks to you. I guess the only thing to do is to just move on to the future, but then again, like I said, it's still kind of hard to take that thought of death out of the mind. But anyways, I'm just going to end it off here. So, I'm just going to say, if you enjoy life, then that's good for you. But if those who are struggling in life and having a depression of their own, I would just like to say, take a look around you. Sure, the world may be a cruel place. You know, darkness may be within around every corner that you may walk. But I'm just going to say this as a fact, that there is always a light in the darkness. I don't mean that religion-wise. I don't mean that as the actual factual evidence that there is good in the world. But I'm just saying that within this world that there is always positivity. There is always serenity in the part of the world that we live in. And that hope is never lost. It's hypocritical sounding from me, who is feeling regret and all this, and what I do is I try to use the experiences that I've gone through, maybe just to share what I feel, and that way maybe someone can at least relate to, and maybe they can feel a lot better than what I'm feeling. But I'm just gonna end this off, and you guys, I hope you guys do good. If you're struggling through life, I hope things go a lot better for you. So you guys have a nice, wonderful day.